What is going on, Roundtable Sports, and welcome back into another episode here of Draftaholics, your favorite draft show that you can find on any social media. Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, fellas. We are officially within a month. We are within a month of the 2025 NFL Draft. It feels absolutely insane, but we don't want to keep doing the same things we've been doing in recent weeks. First round mock draft, second round mock draft, first round mock draft with trades. We want to break down your teams a little bit more specifically. So what we're going to do is we are going to start going division by division and giving a 3-round mock draft for each team. Now, with that being said, we don't exactly have enough time to focus on one specific division in each conference. So we are going to be doing each conference all in one video. So today we're going to be doing the AFC East and the NFC East. With that being said, you guys might be seeing the screen and saying, where's Derek? We're not 100% sure where Derek is. He might come in, he might not. So I got the Patriots and the Eagles. Broshmo, you have the Dolphins and the Commanders. Dose, you have the Bills and the... Who else do you have?
I got the Giants.
You got the Bills and the Giants, and then collectively, because we don't have Derek, we're all going to be picking for the Jets and the Cowboys. So without further ado, guys, I think we just run this up immediately, and let's start this. By the way, for those asking, we decided not to do trades because without Derek, we feel like maybe that might be complicating things a little bit too much. So
I'm not thinking right. Just real quick. So we're doing these in the same draft?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So it's a 3-round mock draft, and then I just selected all of the teams.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not like every single team, but you know what I'm
saying. Okay. Let me adjust a little bit here. Okay.
All right, so you're on the clock, bro. You're on the clock, Dose.
Yeah, man. And this is like the whole storyline. I feel like this is the biggest thing that's changed since we've been on here. Adding Russell Wilson. It's like, does it change? If we can't move, it kind of puts me in a box, I feel like, a little bit here, where it's like maybe I still do go quarterback because, and I know they haven't said that they're out of the quarterback market. Just because they added Russell Wilson. So I think it's definitely still in play. It's such a weird spot because the more I think about this, I think like teams like this could surprise and go trenches still. Like I could still see that being on the table for them.
They got James Winston too.
Yeah, I got James Winston. I know, and that's the thing. So it almost makes more sense to go with a quarterback that you don't feel like has the opportunity to play right away. Like get a guy that it's like, hey, even if our backup gets hurt, the backup isn't then the rookie, or the starter gets hurt, the backup's not the rookie. The backup's actually like a veteran backup. So it makes sense to go like a full project here. I feel like if you're going to do that. But no, ultimately, like I think they're going to be out of the quarterback market. So I think if I have to stand and pick, I'm going to take Abdul Carter. I'm going to put him on the defensive line because Travis Hunter is gone. I think this would be ideal to move out of this spot. But I don't want to like pigeonhole myself and have to take quarterback. If I'm going to take best player available, I'm going to go with the pass rush.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I feel like in a perfect world, you have somebody like Travis Hunter fall to the Giants. I feel like that is just a match made in heaven. They need help at cornerback. They need help at wide receiver. Give a weapon to Russell Wilson. But obviously, he wasn't there for them to take. Maybe they still try to build up that offense around Russell Wilson. You do need, a high explosive, high powered offense in order to succeed in today's NFL. They don't really have too much outside of Malik Neighbors. Maybe they go someone like Tedderell McMillan. Maybe they trade down and get a guy. Maybe they go Ashton Jeanty and surprise everybody, but that really is best player available. To me, Abdul Carter, like I've been saying, is my number one player in this entire draft. And like you said, build in the trenches. Broshma, what do you think?
Yeah, I think if Travis Hunter's still on the board, then this kind of makes it easy for him. It kind of depends what the Browns do. If the Browns go quarterback, then Travis Hunter falls right into their lap. If they don't, I'm still kind of in on they go with Shador. That's just kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they go Shador because that would make the Patriots pick at number 4 so much easier. So with that being said, I'm up here next for the New England Patriots. Like we said, we are not doing trades. Just want to make that clear. Want to put that caveat out there before I make my pick here. But I look at what the Patriots have done over the last few weeks in free agency. And their biggest hole over the last 2 years has been the same hole, and that is over at left tackle. Now, some people have tried to argue this offseason that wide receiver is also just as big of a need. Okay, if you want to make that argument, I understand. they've duct taped that hole a little bit. They have a bridge to their future wide receiver one by signing Stephon Diggs. Now, he might not be ready week one. It's more likely than not he's not going to be ready week one, but you have a guy signed on a multi-year contract that I think can be a low-end wide receiver one, high-end wide receiver two with Stephon Diggs. You still don't have your offensive line built. The Patriots don't have a starting left guard. The Patriots do not have a starting left tackle. I always say this on my channel, fellas. The offensive line is like the engine to a car. You can add all the sexy pieces to your car. You can have the dye on the dashboard. You can get a new paint job all you want. But if your car don't move, it don't matter how sexy that car look. Ain't nobody going to see it. So with that being said, I believe the Patriots have to go trenches here. And I'm going to go with my guy, Will Campbell. I know a lot of people still want to feel like he's a guard. What exactly is his arm measurement at this point? Last spring, he had one arm measurement reported by LSU. Then he had a different arm measurement at the combine, had a different arm measurement the other day at his pro day, which came in at 33 inches. So we don't know exactly what he is, but Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel also said just the other day on a podcast that he was on that his son played offensive line. He views offensive line heavily. He had a lot of respect for the O-line when he played in Tennessee. This is going to be tackle, whether Patriots fans like it or not. Broshma, what do you think?
Man, I think, dude, this whole Will Campbell like arm length thing.
So annoying.
It's not just that. It's like he came in with longer arms as pro day, but a shorter wingspan than he did at the combine, dude. Like, what the hell are we doing?
We don't know how to measure anymore.
Yeah.
I guess not. But like, I don't know. I think I'm still in the bucket of like Will Campbell. You try him out at tackle, and he's a guard, or he's a tackle until he's not. And then you could try him out at guard. But yeah, Patriots are kind of an interesting spot. This is probably a prime trade down if Abdul isn't on the board. But I'm cool with Will Campbell, man. I think he's the best offensive lineman in the class, whether that may be at guard or tackle.
Well, here's the thing, too, is like I said, the Patriots also need left guard. So, okay, he doesn't work out at left tackle. Now you have your franchise all-pro left guard, and you're perfectly fine. You're still filling a need on the O-line. What I like, too, about Will Campbell is that I think he's a better pass protector than he is a run blocker, which is exactly what you need to protect your quarterback's blind side. Also, he was going up against some of the best edge rushers in this draft class every single week and still dominated. But yet everybody thinks he's going to transition to the NFL and completely flop out. I think it's stupid. Dose, what do you think?
Nah, I can tell Colby's fired up here. I'm glad he got the Patriots.
Sorry, bro.
This is his guy. They better pick Will Campbell, okay? No, look, my thing I'll say, I think he's a tackle. I think like ultimately, and I think at guard, I think it could be a worse translation to try to put him at guard. Like I could see that not making sense. I could see a path where that doesn't work. I almost feel better saying that I'd bet on him working at tackle before I bet on him working at guard.
Yeah, I mean, again, want to put the caveat on this. We're not trading down. So like Brochmo said, in an ideal world, even if you want Will Campbell, I think you could trade down a little bit and still get him. And I think that's where Patriots fans would feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay, you're getting extra draft capital on top of getting this guy. But let's go ahead and let's get into the next pick. Fellas, we got the Jets up on the board. So this is our collective pick. Where do we think they go? Or do we think we go with like a Tyler Warren? Do they go the defensive side? Do they go Armand Membu?
I think the question is like if Mason Graham was here, it'd make it a little bit easier. But since he's not, it's like, do you complete the offensive line? Like Armand Membu, I love that pick for the Jets. But like Tyler Warren's not a bad shout out either, because like Jeremy Rucker is currently slated as their starter there. So it's like,
yeah, they had the tight end they've had over the last few years just signed with the Chargers. Yeah. Name's escaping me right now, but they really don't have a true
Conklin.
Yeah,
Tyler.
Conklin signs with the Chargers. So the guy they've had slated in there is now not a free agent. You can't go out there and pick him up if you want to. So not really a threat at the tight end position, but they might also want to upgrade at wide receiver. To me, honestly, there's no one I love here at that position though. Like if Tedderall McMillan had fallen here, maybe that's someone I'd consider. But this is another one of those like prime trade down options. Honestly, with us staying and picking, to me, it's either Armand Membu or Tyler Warren.
Yeah, Dose. What is it?
What is it, Dose?
Don't do me like that. I'll say this. I would throw, the more I think about the Jets, I would actually throw my guess and my vote towards them going offensive tackle if it's between the two, that they would want to complete their offensive line, plug in the right tackle, and just feel really good about those five. I do think it's sneaky, though. A defensive back, I think, would be sneaky here. I'm just throwing it out there. Like I think
what makes
what
sense.
they could have if they grab the defensive back would be pretty fun. But I would vote on Membu at this spot.
I mean, a defensive back would make a lot of sense, whether that's Malachi Starks, whether that's a cornerback, and just kind of complete that secondary, because we know that that's like the roots of the New York Jets. Like that's what they're going to try to build on there with Aaron Glenn, given his background. But I agree. Let's go Armand Membu here. Let's address the trenches, solidify that O-line for Justin Fields, because they're going to be a heavy run-based offense. So with that being said, if you want to have a good run-based offense, you're going to need guys to block for you.
I want to see what Roshmo does now. Now it's exciting because
now it's exciting. Roshmo on the board here. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that sucks. That did not fall like well for me at all.
Nah, dude.
Because I was gonna go with Jade.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
okay. So all the off. Well, I mean, Kelvin Banks is there. He's not a good scheme fit. He's more of a gap man guy. I get like Malachi Starks definitely comes to mind. Get a versatile defensive back. Anthony Weaver coming from Mike McDonald's system. They like having 3 safeties, guys that they can rotate in the box, deep in the slot. Starks, he helps you do that. So I feel like that's where I have to go.
Malachi Starks.
Yeah, but the Cowboys have a pick first.
Yeah, I'm about to say the Cowboys got a pick, so at least we know what we're doing at 13. But we should probably figure out 12 first.
Yeah, Dose, way to feed me the pick like that, bro.
Dose just totally skipped one of our picks. Was like, you know what, bro?
Let's talk about the Cowboys. Malachi Starks, right?
No, yeah, right. That's exactly what would happen. Broshmo just broke it down, so he's going to take Malachi Starks at 13. Next thing you know, the Cowboys go Malachi Starks at 12 because they just heard the whole conversation.
Wait, who's the Cowboys?
That's our collective pick.
Oh yeah, take Malachi Starks.
We are the Cowboys.
We are the Cowboys. We are Dallas. But realistically, who do you guys think goes here? I mean, Ashton Denty would be beautiful here, but he went to the Carolina Panthers.
Hampton could be in play then.
Matthew Golden's the name that pops up for me.
I've seen that name go around a lot for him.
Yeah, just get a nice route runner, a guy that could be a high end 2 next to CD Lamb. I mean, they could run the gauntlet again with another Michigan nose tackle.
Do you think there's a world in which they go edge and then end up trading Micah Parsons?
No.
You don't think that happens? I mean, hey, let's get crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's draft time, baby.
1% Jerry Jones fell asleep and sent the trade.
So, I mean, it's more likely than not. I get it. Now, we'll go wide receiver help here. They really don't have anybody outside of CeeDee Lamb, and I think that's kind of killing their offensive production. What do you guys think, though? Like, real quick, I just want to get your thoughts on this because there were rumors that came out, I believe it was yesterday, that Dak Prescott could potentially be traded to the Browns. Do you guys think that happens?
No. They can't afford that, man.
That'd be crazy. Maybe like they swap for Deshaun Watson. They're like, hey, you get Deshaun Watson.
Keep taking on these contracts and just sinking the ship further. The ship is sunk. Like, I don't know what more you can do to it. Like Dak's not going to help. I mean, he would help, but he's not going to help financially. He's just going to cause more of a problem when it comes to next year and your salary cap.
Honestly, I feel like this is another beautiful trade down scenario. If this is the situation, this is how the board went for the Cowboys, I would trade down. Maybe you trade down, you get Amari and Hampton. You trade down, you get Matthew Golden, but that's all right. They get the wide receiver. All right, Broshmo. Malachi Starks.
Send him in. Like Will Johnson's a consideration too, because we don't have a corner too, but
no.
I mean, dude, our safeties are.
You got Melifanu. I like Melifanu.
I'm excited about him, but like
he's like a 3. He's a versatile.
He was all banged up last year.
Yeah.
He's always banged up.
Broshmo, you're back on the clock at 29.
Oh man. First thought is let me see what edge players are still on the board here for Washington.
I got you. You say who's on the board still?
Like edge players, edge rushers.
My bad. My microphone.
Pass rushers, defensive ends they used to be called.
I remember those.
What happened to the edge rushers?
Oh, they're gone, dude. They're gone.
Dude, there's like no Donovan Ezraku.
Michael Williams went off. James Pierce went off.
I got an idea. Go to linebacker real quick. I have a feeling Jalen Walker's still here.
I think he
The
will.
guy's so disrespected. It's crazy. All right.
Son of a gun, dude.
Wow.
That's wild.
Who's on the defensive line? Is there who's left there?
I mean, like with their interior, because
That's
like
for me. That's for me.
they overpaid Kinlaw. Not overpaid, but he's going to be a nice like pass rushing option. But if anything, maybe safety. Maybe this is a Nick Emanuari if the board falls this way. They brought in Will Harris, but that doesn't excite me. That doesn't excite anybody. So maybe Nick Emanuari, corner. You could try to dip in. I feel like corner in the second round is kind of the sweet spot.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, you get one of these guys who might have injury red flags. So like, I feel like Emanuari is the guy. I just want to go check.
Amarian Hampton here at 29. Nah, he probably even did he go?
Oh man,
Do you imagine? Oh, no, Amarian Hampton went. I lied to you.
I was going to say it, man. Him being around there. Yeah, I'm probably going Nick Emanuari. I don't have a lot of faith in Will Harris. Even then, Will Harris is kind of a versatile back. He could work in the slot. He's been thrown around kind of like all over the defensive backfield over the course of his career. So it's not bad having versatility there.
Yep.
All right, Nick Emanuari to the Commanders. All right, Dose, you're on the clock here at 30 with the Bills.
Yeah,
Dude, Colton Loveland is still on the board. Damn.
I'll be honest with you. So, because I was asking for defensive line for that reason. I just want to see what was out there for my next pick. It's like, hey, yeah. No, I mean, this is a weird spot. We're trying to plug a need here because there's like, I can't really make sense of it taking a tight end at this spot for Buffalo at all. And then I think even from the, like, I'm not sure what I want to do with this. I don't know that I would go offensive line. They played so well this past season. I don't know what I would touch with that. So I kind of feel like I need to go defensive line, because I know that they need interior help. I just don't know that I like the fit to the team as much. I don't know that I like
edge or D line.
No. Well, what
Like
is out there
interior?
on edge? We just looked at it, but I don't remember what it was.
They got Bosa. Oh, what's on the board? Never mind.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I don't know if I want to touch on that. Yeah, I guess I'm going to go defensive line here. I think I'm going to plug a defensive lineman because those safeties are gone that I think could go in the first round. So I don't.
Any corners you might fancy?
Yeah, let's see the corner board. Colby, let's see what are we doing?
I got you, man.
What are we doing?
Top 5 corners are on the board.
It feels like there's like 3 needs for this team at this spot. It's like they're going to go 3 directions.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I know where I'm going to go with this pick. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's go Trey Amos here.
I knew you were going to do that.
Like it's kind of a chalk one, I guess you could say, for them. But I think it just makes sense. You know what I mean? And he's a guy that I feel comfortable with compared to the rest of the group here, especially for their fit.
3 interceptions. 3 interceptions this past year. Buffalo likes to play that aggressive style defense also. So I think that would make a lot of sense. A guy who can get them some more turnovers than what they had with their cornerback too this past season.
And I don't know like his measurables top of my head, but I thought he was pretty long as a cornerback. And I think in their system, I think he's gonna be pretty effective for what they look to do. He play a little more off cover to be pretty comfy there. So I think it'll make sense for him.
Who let the Chiefs get a Mecca Egbuka? That is criminal. That is criminally insane. I think, guys, this might sound crazy. I don't think it sounds crazy at all, but it's my opinion. I think Emeka Egbuka, we're going to look down the line. I think I told you guys this before. I think we're going to look down the line and say that he was the best wide receiver to come out of this draft.
It's on the table.
I'm a big believer in that.
I feel like if that's the case, then there was no top 10, no elite wide receiver in this class.
Ibuka's going to be wide receiver class, be honest with you.
Ibuka's good. I think he's going to be like a Rob into somebody's Batman.
A very high floor, I would say.
Yeah.
I love his hands, man. I didn't know like his hands were that. Wait, that's not a pause. That's his hands. Crazy. What are we doing?
You said I love his hands. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I do. I love his hands, man. He's got good hands.
Well, guys, look, up here at 32, everybody's going to say, oh, he's about to go defense. He's about to go edge rusher. He's about to go defensive line. But I look at this and I say, this is one of the best edge classes, maybe the best edge class we've ever seen come out of a draft. And if there's one thing I believe the Philadelphia Eagles to do, it is to develop the trenches no matter where they get a guy. But there's been some rumors that have come out that Dallas Goedert could be traded. If that is the case, you got Colston Loveland sitting right here for you, a guy that might not be a great blocker. He's not the most consistent, but he's arguably the best receiving threat when it comes to tight ends in this draft class. Runs really good routes, a short-handed receiver. I think this will make a lot of sense for them if they do trade Dallas Goedert. Really good value for Colston Loveland. That's where I'm going here for the Philadelphia Eagles at 32. Broshma, what do you think?
That any fans of the Chappelle Show here seen that Rick James episode where he's just kind of like, I feel like that's Howie Roseman. He's just like, give it to me, baby. Just let the draft fall to me. Because that's kind of how it feels like. Like, that's just ridiculous.
He always goes best player available, and it always works out for him. Because there's always players that fall, and nobody knows why, and no one's team takes them. And then you just have the freaking Eagles and Howie Roseman coming here taking them, and then they become a star. And everybody's like, how does he do it? How does he do it? He freaking does it because he takes the best damn players that are on the damn board. Like, this isn't rocket science, but
the one time he drafts for need, he gets like the top 2 corners in that draft. Wild.
Yeah,
it really is. It's crazy. It's crazy. But Dose, you're on the clock here at 34 with the Giants in the second round. You had Shador start the second round right before you. Where are you going?
Yeah, I had something in mind and then I completely forgot what it was. So
Jackson Dart.
That wasn't it. I did have something in mind. That was not it.
No, he's on the board.
Dude, people are on the Jackson Dart top 10, and I'm like, we're not doing this again. We did this with like the 2022 draft where, oh yeah, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, all these guys going to the first.
That's how you know it's a bad quarterback class.
Can you? The Malik Willis one was the best example. Can we go to tackle / guard here? Because I think adding an offensive lineman is still on the table. I think we still have some good options here.
Absolutely.
And if I get someone that can plug inside, this would be a great kickback. You can't go an edge rusher and then kick it back like this. Yeah, so I think to make the right fit, because they added John Runyon, I'm saying, or they have John Runyon, they didn't add him, but they have John Runyon. I don't like either of their guards, but schematically speaking, I think if I plug Donovan Jackson in at guard here, we're going to feel pretty good about where we're at. So I'm going to grab Donovan Jackson.
Donovan Jackson, 6'4", 320 pounds, has experience at left tackle, left guard, and 1 snap over at right tackle, a versatile chess piece on the offensive line. Can never go wrong with that. What do you think, Bushmo?
Tackle, man. I love Donovan Jackson. He's a guy that I want to see him fail at tackle before I move him to guard, which that kind of works out, man. Illuminor, I think, has only 1 year left on the deal. And I kind of echo like that sentiment of, like, I don't like either of their guards. Like Van Roden is just a bridge guy. I'm surprised he's still in the league. He's just so old at this point. Like he had his time. I'm not trying to throw any shade, but Father Time comes a knocking. And for him, it knocked like 2-3 years ago.
Hey, how old is Van Roden? What is he like?
He's like 34, man. He's been around.
Okay.
Better go check now.
Like 27.
Stop.
I fell off, man.
No, he's 35. All right, there we go. I was about to say, I was like, hold on.
Why is my neighbor calling me? That's crazy. Hey, yo, real quick, like spamming me right now. Real quick, I want to know your guys' thoughts on Alec Ayomanor. He just went the pick before the Patriots. I'm not big on this guy, and I've gotten some criticism for it in the past. What are your guys' thoughts on him?
He's fine. Like, he doesn't have like the biggest route tree because, Stanford, they haven't really had any great coaching recently, but he's not like the most explosive dude, but he's got size. He's got good hands. He can go up and catch it. Like, he could be like a big slot or maybe like a possession wide receiver 2 for you.
I like it. Moving on here to 38. I'm back on the board here with the Patriots, and there's a couple of guys that I'm looking at here, and it is between wide receiver and edge rusher. The Patriots do still need some help at the edge rusher position, opposite of Harold Landry. You have Keon White. Keon White hasn't exactly been the most consistent guy over the last 2 years. Maybe that comes down to coaching. Maybe Mike Grable gets the best out of him.
Say that about Harold Landry.
You could say the same thing about Harold Landry, But even with Keon White, he's one of those guys that to me is more of a Dietrich Wise replacement. He can play edge rusher, but he can also play in the interior. Interesting fact, Keon White was one of the best interior defenders in the NFL this past season when it came to pass rush. So I don't think he's like your true number one, number two edge rusher. So I think the Patriots do still need that guy. But I also see somebody like Jaden Higgins still on the board. And this is a guy that I'm a massive, massive fan of. Can be that outside contested catch for the Patriots, but also runs really good routes, has a little bit, I don't want to say speed to him, but he's faster than you'd expect for a guy his size. So he's someone that I really like also. I think the question just comes down to which guy am I thinking? I think it's between Landon Jackson and Jaden Higgins. This is a tough one, but I'm gonna, there's another guy that I like later on in the draft at wide receiver. So I'm actually going to go with Landon Jackson here. I feel like Landon Jackson out of Arkansas would be like that typical Mike Vrabel guy, a guy who is pretty good in terms of pass rush. I don't think he's anything crazy. He's nothing spectacular, but he's really good against the run more specifically. And you look at the trends the Patriots have made with getting defenders, whether it's in the secondary, linebacker, or in the trenches with the defensive line, they are prioritizing guys that are able to stop the run. That was one of the biggest problems for the Patriots this past season. And you're getting that with Landon Jackson, who I think just needs to be developed a little bit more. But I think he is someone who is very much a coachable player. You see that. I mean, he's gotten better each and every single year. What that tells me is you're someone who can take coaching. 6'7", 280 pounds, very tall, very big, very lengthy. That is a Mike Vrabel guy to me. Dose, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as high on Landon Jackson just in general versus what the board would have been there. For me, I think he does fit, though, what you're saying. I think he's an effort player immediately. I think you're going to get early stops against the run. My thing is I just thought he had limitations as like a true pocket collapser. So for me, that kind of pulls it back a little bit. I mean, he's built to be that 6'5.5", 265. I think he fits in well, and he's shown a ton of versatility. You know, we saw him in person. The guy's massive, and he could stand up and run around. I just not as high on the player, but I think there's some, technical elements that are there. And I also thought for him, like, I think I compared him to, and this may be way up. You know what? I want to say this to Brochmo in person because I want to see what he thinks about this. Because you might have, do you have a comp for Landon Jackson? I feel like you might have a comp for a guy like this. I want to give you mine.
Let's see. Landon Jackson, I got him down as Emmanuel Ogbah.
Okay, see that makes a lot of sense. I think I might have to double check, but I think I had Zadarius Smith as my comp for Landon Jackson. Too. Yeah, I think that's the direction I went. And look, I mean, he's been a long NFL player that's been successful. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. So, okay.
PFF has him as like shades of Carl Nissa. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Big guy.
That's kind of more of the floor type of player.
I was about to say that's definitely not the ceiling, but all right. If that was his ceiling, I would not be taking this guy here.
I was gonna say I felt like there it is. There's your floor, there's your mid, and there's your ceiling.
But moving on here to 42, guys, we have our collective pick back here with the New York Jets. Look at the picks here real quick. So last time we went Armand Membu, the tackle. Where do we go here? Do we look to get a wide receiver, or do we go the defensive route and address the D-line?
I feel like this is Aaron Glenn's draft. He's going to want to go defense at some point. Though I would love Jaden Higgins at this spot, me personally, but I just want to throw the name Savone Revel out there.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of built like a Aaron Glenn guy, come in and eventually play a lot of man coverage. So just going to throw that out there and see if it sticks.
I think that does stick. I think Revel may have flexibility too, the more that I think about it. Like I could see a world, I'm not saying this will be, ideal, like, oh, this is what we're viewing him for. But I could see a world where he even played safety at some point. Like,
yeah, he's got the size. He's feisty. He's fiery.
He could translate there.
He's played some slot, corner, box. So he's kind of played all over in the secondary. So I don't mind going cornerback here, like I said, because it is Aaron Glenn. He did coach that position. He was then a defensive coordinator. Like, he is going to prioritize the secondary. They lost DJ Reed in free agency. They need help at cornerback. I could see that happening. So I like that. Let's go Revel here.
Yeah, and they brought in Brandon Stevens. Like,
yeah,
that ain't scaring nobody.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we got the Cowboys back up here at 44. Another collective pick. Just to remind you guys, last time we went Matthew Golden, the wide receiver, in the first round. So where do we want to go here? Is this where we want to go edge rusher? Or do we maybe want to look at the running backs?
Yeah, that's nasty. I mean, in my opinion, it's kind of nasty because Eric Kendrick is still a free agent, right? I mean, he hasn't got signed. I don't
Yeah,
believe.
I'm pretty sure he's still a free agent.
From my
They
opinion, I
brought
think.
in they
Go
brought
go
in
ahead.
I was gonna say they brought in a lot of former first round picks, like first round busts, like Kenneth Murray, Kyer
Oh,
Elam,
okay.
and such.
Forgot about that trade. Yeah, made a couple of
Yeah,
those
right.
like seventh
Keenan
round
or
picks. Go make a little
yeah.
trade here. That's
Dude,
true. That's true.
it's wild. Like I guess Jerry's version of going all in is, oh, let me bring in these former first round busts. Like,
Hey,
okay.
hey, Jonathan Mingo. You know what I mean? I mean,
Bingo. Hey, I like the bingo though.
what are we doing? I don't know.
I like the
Oh,
bingo. So what are you guys thinking here? Defensive route, running back?
I'll tell you, my two things that I think are interesting is running back for sure. I think that's super interesting here, just
Yeah.
because where we're at in the board, it's like this is
They
kind of
need one.
the middle of it. But I think it's also interesting to grab Knight for this team. I mean, I'm looking at their roster right now. Broshman was right. There is some depth there depending on Overshown's health, but I think it would be a plug in and play piece for them, which I think they lost a lot. When they lose Eric Kendrick, they're going to lose a lot.
Yeah. And
So for
you
me,
got
it would be
Overshown hurt.
between Demetrius Knight linebacker, or it would be for me like Quinshawn Judkins. I love Quinshawn Judkins. That guy just keeps rising up my damn boards.
I like Judkins too. I was gonna throw out Travion Henderson.
That's
That's
what I was
another one.
thinking.
You literally
Yeah.
cannot go wrong with Judkins or Henderson. You really can't.
Henderson brings more juice, and it feels like with Javante, like they could want the home run threat.
Yeah,
I feel
right.
like-
Yeah.
I feel like Judkins, though, like he has, at least in my opinion, I feel like he has the higher ceiling. I feel like he's a little bit more raw in pass protection and the receiving game, but it's not because he can't do it. He's shown the ability to do it. He just needs to be developed more. He's raw there. So I feel like he could be the better all-around running back.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for the workhorse, it's Judkins. If you're looking to add, which it's like I don't know if the Cowboys are, because like Williams is on a 1-year deal, so it's like maybe you are looking for the future at that position rather than someone who could come in and complement. Because like Henderson's certainly more of a complement to somebody else.
I mean, they could look edge rusher too, just to throw. I mean, because they did have Miles Sanders. I forgot they had Miles Sanders too. I mean, they have Deuce Vaughn. Hey, Deuce Vaughn was. I don't know if he was a guy, but they have connections. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Should we kick it to the chat here? Should we ask him Judkins or Knight? Should we see what they say?
Yeah, I think edge would be interesting, but they also have Marshawn Nealon who got banged up last year.
Yeah, I forgot about Nealon.
Yeah.
All right, chat. We're going to kick this one to you guys. Where should the Dallas Cowboys go? Should they go running back Quinshawn Judkins, or should they go linebacker Demetrius Knight? Let us know in the comment section.
I got
whatever we see first, whoever gets the most is who we're going to go with.
I didn't see Tyler Booker on the board.
That's what I was saying. Like, wait a minute. Like, look.
What happened?
I just saw Tyler Booker on the board. Listen, I love Brock Hoffman, but like he's probably a better depth guy than actual starter. Put Booker there at right guard. I mean, it sounds like he's going to go top 20. I'm not that high on him, but it sounds like everyone loves him.
Wait, friend of the show, Demetrius linebacker.
Look, he's gonna that pass protection is gonna get better. So immediately, and that's like I mean, if the Cowboys are really trying to be who they were, like it's the O-line. I mean, that's what it was. We're looking go get down to what it was. Seeing Booker on the board is just kind of standing out. Like it's not that you want to go guard, maybe it's just that he's there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we scrolled far down enough. So this is probably why they don't hire us to do the professional stuff. This is why we're not general managers. Yeah, we're gonna go with linebacker or running back and not fill the hole with the best guy on the board because we didn't scroll down enough. All right, yeah. Sorry, chat. We'll come back to you guys. We're gonna go Tyler Booker here. That is a really good value for them guard out of Alabama. Address that offensive line. That's crazy. All right, Broshma, you're back on the board here at 48 with the Dolphins.
I think I know where I'm going, but I do want to do a quick look at what corners are on the board. But I think I know where I'm going. Man, Benjamin Morrison's interesting. Just hoping those hips aren't like devastated. I think where I think I'm gonna go though is the offensive line. They need help in general. I'm looking to a guard that might be maybe a tackle in the NFL, but I love he's gonna be listed with the tackles. He's Jonah Savanea out of Arizona. I love this dude's movement skills. He's got he's got the tools to stay at tackle. But golly, man, you kick him inside. You play him at left guard because Liam Eichenberg sucks. I love it.
Jermaine Illuminor, too. That's his pro comp. I love Jermaine Illuminor. I feel like Jermaine Illuminor is a very underrated offensive lineman. For the Patriots, for the Giants, was like a very serviceable guy.
He should have had longer than 2-year deals with teams. It's wild that he's just been this value guy for so long.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, who's next up on the board? Dose is up next on the board with pick 56, the Buffalo Bills. Your first pick was a cornerback by the name of Trey Amos out of Mississippi. So where are you going here?
Yeah, I want to immediately look at the interior defensive line. It's like,
I could do that for you.
Yeah. Just, I feel like I haven't seen the names fly off like that. See,
what about Norman Lott? You like Norman Lott? Farmer, but that's too early.
I'm in a weird spot with Farmer right now.
Yeah,
I'm not fully on board yet. I feel like I haven't got there.
You're kind of there. You're kind of there. Maybe third round. Maybe fourth if you get there.
How do you feel about Alfred Collins here?
You know what, Alfred Collins? I'm personally lower on Alfred Collins, and I came in pretty low on Alfred Collins, so I feel like I have a bias towards it a little bit. But defensive tackle has been one of those spots I've had to rewatch through. So my opinions have moved all over the place. So, for example, Shamar Turner being on the board right now, I know he's had all the penalty issues, but immediately I was like, I like this guy. I feel like there could be a pretty high ceiling here, but I can understand why only a few teams would
That's a guy I'm actually lower on.
So there you go. Okay, so Broshko, you make this pick for me. Yeah, I don't want to kill the draft. I mean, okay. And then one more position. Let's also look at receiver. We gotta look at receiver. You know what I mean? We just gotta see what's going on. We gotta just see.
I'm surprised you haven't looked at edge.
Oh, we didn't just do that. Oh no, we
looked at no. You wanted interior.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, yeah, we'll look at edge too because I think Jack Sawyer is still on the board, but I don't need an edge to be honest. I'm kind of looking I don't feel like I need that. I don't think I need that at all. Oh man, I know what I want to do here, but I don't want to do it because I picked the Lions too. Oh no, I don't pick the Lions. What am I talking about?
No. That's just the team you cover outside of the show. Okay, Dose.
All right, my bad. Yeah, let's go. The receiver thing's weird with Curtis Samuel because they got 4 receivers here. But I think if I was taking the guy that I really like, I'm going to take Jalen Royals here. We're just going to.
I was about to say that. I was mixed with the receivers that they already have. They have that contested catch guy. They have that shifty slot receiver. They don't have a guy that can really stretch the field and be a big playmaker down the field. So Jalen Royals makes sense. Or even if you want to wait to the later rounds as a Bills fan to get a receiver, even someone maybe like a Tez Johnson or not really, maybe not so much a Tez Johnson, maybe more like an Isaiah Bond would also make sense. But Jalen Royals, I like that pick. What do you think, Bushman?
I think I hate the Bills, but but I don't know, man. I feel like they've already invested so much. They brought in Josh Palmer this offseason. I feel like this is going to be a very defensive heavy draft for them because, they were putting up 30, 40 points in some cases, but that defense couldn't stop anything.
Yeah, we got another pick, Broshmo. We're good. We got to play. Actually, I don't have a play. I don't know where my next pick is.
Your Lions went Cam Scatabo, by the way. You like that, Dose?
It's fun. I like Cam Scatabo.
It's there.
It doesn't make any sense, but I'm a fan.
At 61 with the Washington Commanders, we got Broshmo on the board. Your last pick was Nick Emenwari, the safety.
Let's look at that edge group. Oh, hello, Ariante Ursery still on the board. Interesting.
That's crazy. That makes no sense.
That actually feels so tempting.
Ursery, that's just beautiful value.
Yeah, because honestly, a lot of the edges have come off the board. So at this point, it's just screw it. I might just wait. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ariante Ursery. He can, in my opinion, he could at least push Andrew Wiley at right tackle. If not, left guard's kind of open right now. It's left guard, right? Sam Cosmi, or is I think Cosmi's actually Cosmi. I think he's right guard. Regardless, with Cosmi going to be out a good chunk of the season, coming back from injury. You could immediately put Ursery in there at guard, have him compete with a guy like Brandon Coleman and whatnot. So just protect Jaden. I like that pick. I like that value.
Dose, what do you think about that pick?
Yeah, I think that's fantastic value. I was surprised he was still on the board, to be honest. I don't think he's going to get this far. They need offensive line. Honestly, though, I thought their offensive line outplayed what it was like on paper last season. I think they did a really good job with their offensive line. They ran block well. So I think if there was one thing, I think they need to make sure they have flexibility with how they run the football. I thought that's what made them so unique this past season. But pass protection could use work across the board.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on here to 62, though. Dose, you're back on the clock. You're back on the clock here with the Buffalo Bills. You just picked a few picks ago at 56.
Oh, okay.
You're back here at 62.
Oh, this is fantastic. I mean,
this is great.
Yeah, it's just going to work out like this. So I do have a higher nod on an edge rusher here, but I almost like this. Do the Bills really feel like they need an edge rusher? I mean,
well, they picked up a guy in free agency, but he's suspended for like the first 6 weeks.
Michael
Hoyt. They have Bosa. They still have AJ Epinesa.
So they have some guys, but I mean, it's an
And
area.
Greg Rousseau
To improve that.
Jerry
Solomon's in there. You know, it was remember about Troy, right? So
Yeah,
I mean, they got some dudes. Like I don't know if I don't know if I need to go back down that path. Like I could see it. But I think I'm going to take the swing here, man. I think I'm going to jump on Shamar Turner and just because he's there. Like I feel like this spoke to me that he's still available. You know, like I can't just
spoke.
Yeah, I mean, like if it wasn't meant to be, he wouldn't be here. But he lasted after we just discussed him, so I'm going to make the pick.
He spoke to you.
Yeah, I was a little nervous. I didn't think I had another pick. I'm writing down like, oh dang, maybe I didn't have another pick. We're good though. We're good.
Spoke to you. It was crazy. All right, up here at 64, we're up here next with the Philadelphia Eagles. This is my pick. Now, I'd love to go edge rusher here, and honestly, this one's a very easy one for me. Not a guy that I thought would fall this far, but if he does, that is another excellent value pick by Howie Roseman. So that's probably exactly what is going to happen. They need help at edge rusher. They've had some guys leaving free agency. Obviously, Graham ended up retiring. They always address the trenches. That is just always a part of the Philadelphia Eagles that is dominant. O-line to D-line. Jack Sawyer is still on the board. This is a guy with a really high motor, especially when it comes to pass rush. This is a guy that I thought has developed really, really well on a year-to-year basis. I think he's motivated. I think he has that dog in him. Jack Sawyer to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this makes a ton of sense. Broshma, what do you think?
I like Sawyer, man. He does got that dog in him. Came in with the short arms, like way shorter than anyone anticipated. I'm very curious to see what his pro day measurements will be, but there's no denying he was the best player on that defense outside of like Caleb Downs. Dude was a stud.
What do you think about that, Big Dose?
Yeah, I mean, he's clutch last season. He was clutch all the time last season. This dude just found a way to get it done. I'm a fan of Sawyer. Like, I understand why he would fall because a lot of the traits just aren't going to speak to teams maybe and as a first-round pick, but I think Jack Sawyer is going to be able to translate, man. I'm a fan.
I agree. Well, Dose, you are back on the clock here at 65 to start the third round with the New York Giants. Just a little brief overlook at your picks here. You went Abdul Carter in the first and then Donovan Jackson, the tackle, in the second.
Yeah, I think we've, we're getting the trenches going here, but man, and I don't want to like I want to do this just because we're doing this. Like, so I want to peek at the receivers again, just to kind of get a glimpse of what it looks like. But I think I know where I'm going to go ultimately here. Yeah, like it doesn't get there for me. And I think this is my thinking on this. Can you go to tight end real quick? Because I know they had Darren Waller. They had him for his last season. Maybe didn't connect the way that it should have.
Theo Johnson started to flash until he got hurt.
Who's about to really flash? Elijah Arroyo's going to flash. No, I mean, like the guy can go, man. He can run. And I think there's blocking upside there. I know it doesn't connect as consistently. I think there's a lot of upside. I love that. I mean, he's a finisher, man. This guy's going to battle. And I think he shows some body control. Like, I think there's a somewhat of a well-rounded nature. I mean, it's not the smoothest as the route runner overall, but I think he at least has a skill set to separate and open up some things. And I think for the Giants having Darren Waller, like you want a guy that can just be a separator. You can line out wide, just kind of figure out what it can turn into. Missed a lot of time. Maybe that's the reason he falls down this far. Maybe it's because people have questions about his route running, but I think it could make some sense with Dable.
Elijah Arroyo. Why not Mason Taylor? Just out of curiosity. I kind of like him for the Giants.
Yeah, just different stylistically. I feel like I'm looking for more of just like he's going to change the game as soon as the ball gets in his hands. Like he's going to have that take the top off ability, even though it's not a receiver or a running back. I think this team kind of needs that. They need some juice, and we haven't added that at all on offense. So I just feel like you could potentially get that from the tight end position. And I know Dable has experience where it's like, look, this guy did in college. He played slot. He played wide. Like I'll put him out wide. I'll find matchups for him there. And then especially what you can do with him, like screens. Like this is the kind of guy that like I feel like I could give a jet sweep to, and he could find some success.
Elijah Arroyo goes off the board here at 65. Broach, may you like that pick?
Yeah, I don't mind it, man. I am a big fan of Royal. He has a lot more shimmy in his routes than I expected. Saw that at the Senior Bowl. He just lit it up day one. And hey, whoever's playing quarterback there, get him all the weapons, right? I mean, dude, Brian Daboll is coaching for his job at this point. So,
that's right.
Well, up here next, I got the Patriots at 69. I believe they have 2 third-round picks. Yes, they got 2 third-round picks. First, we went Will Campbell, the tackle. Then we went in the second round, Landon Jackson, edge rusher out of Arkansas. We have addressed the trenches for the Patriots. Not necessarily opposed to continue on doing that. Let's look at the interior of the offensive line, see if there's anybody that I like here. I'm not against Jared Wilson, but I don't love that here. I don't love anybody on the board from an interior perspective. Is there anybody here? So Wyatt Milam could be a guy that pins in for the Patriots at guard. Do we know if he's projected to play right guard or left guard, or is just interior in general?
I would think probably just interior in general, but yeah, I mean, I think he played right his freshman year, right tackle. Not positive though.
Honestly, I'm looking at it though, like he played a lot of left tackle his entire career, so maybe that's a guy that would be more comfortable getting pinned in on the left side. Do you guys have any worries about a 6'6", 317-pound guard though? Because I know that with Will Campbell, that's a lot of the concerns for some people. If he gets pinned in at guard, now you have a guy that's maybe a little bit too tall for your interior. You put any stock into that?
I hate tall guards. I'm out here trying to support my short kings like Bryce Young, Kyler Murray, and
well, thank God Drake May's not a short king, but
yeah, you got your prototypical quarterback size out there. I'm out here trying to support my people, man, my fellow short men. But in general, man, I just feel like, especially like if they play tall, like for that, like Will Campbell, I think is more of a concern there because like this dude already plays upright. Like Milam, I think Milam could get down low. Like I don't mind that too much. I think we saw a little bit of the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, he did from all the games. I saw him all the time in a 2-point stance. That's the only thing I was like, well, maybe I don't know if they'd ask him to do something. Not everybody does it, but if you asked him to. But I'm with you. Like I think he looks like a guard to me. That dude looks like a guard, and I think that what he does well will actually translate to guard pretty well.
Well, I'm not going to get him here. I'm actually thinking I'm going to go the wide receiver route. Yeah, thanks for breaking that down for me, guys. I got another 3rd round pick. I'm hoping he's going to be there. But I'm going to go the wide receiver route. I thought about going running back. Dylan Sampson's here. The Patriots have been heavily linked back to him, so that was a debate for me. I don't love going running back with my first 3rd round pick, though. I don't think it's an immediate need for the Patriots, given the fact that there's already 2 veteran running backs in the building with Ramondre and names escaping me right now. But
can't even name the other guy.
What happened?
Can't even name the other guy.
Can't even name the other guy. He barely
Antonio
saw
Gibson
past year. Antonio Gibson. But I'm going to go with one of my favorite guys in this draft, and that's Jalen Noel, wide receiver out of Iowa State. Now, I also thought about going Trey Harris here. I guess it's kind of your pick if you're a Patriots fan on what you're looking for. Do you want more of that contested catch guy on the outside to replace Javon Baker, who's probably not going to make this roster? Or do you want to give Javon Baker another chance? Do you want that slot receiver, that shifty guy? If you want that, that's going to be someone like Jalen Noel. Now, I know Stephon Diggs is here, but Stephon Diggs is, again, that bridge to your future. I'm not saying Jalen Noel is that number 1 guy, but I think Jalen Noel can be a number 2 wide receiver in this league. And in Josh McDaniel's system, they need that slot receiver that's going to consistently get open, short to intermediate routes, not make big plays per se, but just be that chain mover, get 70, 80, 90 receptions on the season. And I think Jalen Noel very much can do that. We actually got to ask him at the Senior Bowl if he'd be comfortable playing on the outside, and he said that he would. So again, a guy who's more 5'11", 6 foot, so mainly going to be a slot receiver, but can play some snaps on the outside if need be. So I'm going to go Jalen Noel here. I just think he makes a ton of sense for the Patriots. What do you think about that pick, Dose?
Yeah, I don't dislike it at all. I mean, I'm a Jalen Polk guy, so like to see that not connect is disappointing. I'm surprised. I'm even surprised you said that with Baker. Was he like a 4th round pick? I mean, that it's been
he was, but
right?
He didn't see the field literally like at all this past season because in practice the entire season he couldn't run the right routes, he couldn't line up correctly, he didn't know the playbook. Just very immature, to be honest with you. Like that's really what it came down to. And so he could just be on the outside looking in. To be completely real with you. What do you think, bro, Schmo?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you get some receiving options for your franchise quarterback. Stephon Diggs can't do it by himself. Pop Douglas can't do it by himself.
What about Kayshon Boutte? Can he do it by himself?
Jeez,
Yeah,
dude.
now
I don't
and then.
know what to think about Boutte.
Now and
man.
then he can. He's just inconsistent. That's really all it is. Like, he shows flashes. He'll beat some of the best cornerbacks in the league and then, like, have 5 yards the following week. It makes no sense. But
He's a guy, anytime he turns up, I'm just like, oh, he's still in the league. And it's not like he's been in the league for long either.
He's a fan favorite in New England. It's crazy.
Dude.
I don't know if it's because he's a baller or just because of his last name, but we got the Jets here at 73. So, fellas, where do we want to go here? Just to remind you, we went Armand Membu and then Siobhan Rebel. I feel like going that defensive line route or wide receivers probably the best way to go.
I got 2 guys.
Ooh, who are you thinking?
Mason Taylor's one of them. I think this is a really good value. Again, we could go back to like, there's
That's
nothing right now at that tight end spot.
That's true.
The other is, again, I'm higher on this guy, Alfred Collins. If you're going to come in and get a space eater in the middle to be that like legit nose tackle, and just I think he's up there with Talik Williams as like one of the top run defenders. So I think he's got a very safe floor. But I mean, he's got length. It's not like he's like the most explosive guy, but like the dude's a people mover, man.
I like the idea of going Mason Taylor. Like you said, they don't really have a guy slotted in there. Not a great blocker per se, but this is a guy that will be a receiving threat for you. They could use that. But Dose, I want to get your input.
I mean, I like both, but I kind of like the Alfred Collins idea. And I think putting a nose tackle next to Quinnen Williams to unlock the wide edge rushers that they have, like in paper, that could be nasty. And they added Nadi this offseason. They added Cowart. I think Cowart's a little underrated. Not game changers. Neither of them are.
I just feel like they have a defensive line that can get it done. Like, you're fine if you roll into next season with what you have, but you just don't have anybody slotted in at tight end right now. Like, no one that's confident for you or even an average starter.
This is true.
That's just my opinion though. Let's take this one to the chat because we kind of screwed the chat over a little bit early on in the stream when we were like, all right, guys, pick between these two. And then we said, never mind, we're going to go with a totally different guy after everybody commented. So, guys, who do you want us to go here for the Jets' final pick here in the 3rd round? Defensive lineman Alfred Collins or tight end Mason Taylor? Let us know in the comment section. Depending on which one comes in first is a player we'll take.
Can we see who else is at tight end while we're waiting for that?
Yeah, we need, so like the first 3, whichever name comes up 3 times is the guy we'll go with.
This is Bloody Mary. We got to say his name 3 times and look in a mirror.
You know, that used to scare me as a kid. Actually, I did it the other day and I got scared, so I left.
No.
I got 1 Mason Taylor.
Nah, this dude last night was doing it. That's crazy.
Oh, we got 2 Mason Taylor. Yeah, I got scared, so I left. I started blessing my bathroom. Oh, we got 1 Collins.
Nah,
so far, it's Mason Taylor for the win, 2-1. Let's see. Comment which one you guys want for the Jets here. Tight end Mason Taylor or defensive lineman Collins? We'll give it another 10 seconds here.
Who else is out there at safety?
The chat is active today.
They got Tony Adams. They brought in Andre
Ferguson is not the option.
That's right. Okay, because I knew they lost Ashton, and I mean Ashton Davis was okay, but he brought up
he's a Dolphin now. I ain't excited.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I was like, all right, it's okay. I tried to get into it during the office. Like, I can't get there.
All right, we'll go Mason Taylor here. That's the one that was commented most in the chat. And we'll pick that for the New York Jets here. Makes a lot of sense.
Ferguson. This is crazy. He's just naming guys.
Yeah.
Come on,
I said,
bro.
name one of these dudes. And he said, I'm going to go with someone that's not on the board. You should go Ferguson at tight end. Okay, thanks. All right, but at 76, we got the Cowboys on the board. This is another collective pick. I think this is their final pick. Yeah, this is their final pick here for the Cowboys. We want Matthew Golden,
running back,
Tyler Booker. Yeah, I feel like this makes just a ton of sense. They don't really have a guy. Oh,
ooh, what a dog! Sitting there.
You and RJ Harvey, bro.
Me and Harvey, but Tootin's interesting. I'm just hey, you had Deuce Vaughn in there.
What do you think about Blue? He ran like a crazy 40.
I don't like Blue at all. Like
And like Blue.
he's fast. Cool.
Hey, get a bit of space, you know?
Dude had so many
run,
fumbles. Like
deep.
he is legitimately like like old school receiving scat back. Like I don't want to give a carry to this guy because he's probably gonna fumble it.
So where do you guys want to go here at running back then?
Harvey Neal too.
I like Neal. I think people are gonna be really low on his lack thereof athleticism and speed. But dude, I've been following Neal for like 2.5 years now. Freaking love this dude.
Oh, we love him, then we might have to take him.
I mean, Harvey's a good choice too, though.
So it's either Devin Neal or RJ Harvey is what we're looking at here.
Did we draft him a receiver or did we draft him a tight end? Like, what do we?
We drafted them a receiver. We got Matthew Golden.
Okay. Yeah, but we need a corner then, right? I mean, they don't have like any.
Diggs is coming back. They got Bland. They brought in Kyer Elam. They have Kalen Carson, who they had drafted last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got some depth there.
Yeah, I mean Harvey gives you the pass catching aspect there with Javonte Williams. Neal's a little iffy, just in the passing game in general. Like, not a lot of these guys in this class. I've noticed like it's a great running back class unless you're looking for pass protection.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of these guys are that good at pass pro.
I think Martinez is interesting too, man. I like watching Martinez play.
Well, keep adding names here, bro. I think we got to pick one. The time on the clock is almost up here. So you guys want to go RJ Harvey or Neal? You vote Harvey?
I'm down with Harvey.
All right, let's go Harvey. Let's go best running back available.
He might be a first round pick.
Look at that. The Patriots are back up on the board here at 77. This is their final pick. We want Will Campbell, Landon Jackson, Jalen Knoll. And I don't think it's unrealistic for them to go back to the offensive line. Is my guy here? And he is. All right, so I don't love the idea of going with a tall guard. But at the end of the day, you also have Drake May, who is a tall quarterback. So I don't really think it matters all that much per se. Wyatt Milam is a guy that can kick out to tackle if you really need him to, but he is projected to be a guard at the next level. Is he a right guard? Is he a left guard? I think they're going to play him over at left guard. That's where the Patriots' gaping hole is. Like I said earlier, the Patriots have a hole at left tackle. They have a hole at left guard. You fill left tackle, now fill left guard with two big bodies, and that's what I'm going to do here. The Patriots' trenches is officially solidified for the first time in years. Wyatt Milam to the New England Patriots at 77. Broshma, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like they have to invest in the offensive line. I mean, given how many picks you have, I think it's safe to say, okay, pass catchers or blockers. That's what you're doing. You went so heavy in free agency from a defensive perspective that, this draft should be offensive for you.
Yeah, I agree. Well, up here next, I got the Philadelphia Eagles at 96. I think this is also their final pick, and it is. We went Colston Loveland, the tight end, in the first. We went Jack Sawyer in the second. Let's see who's on the board, because honestly, they don't have, at least in my opinion, a whole lot of needs. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they went like with a Sebastian Castro. They just traded CJ Gardner-Johnson earlier this offseason, so maybe get some more help there at safety. I don't think that's unrealistic. Are you guys in the camp of Cooper DeJean as a cornerback or Cooper DeJean as a safety?
Oh, I think Cooper DeJean is probably slot or outside corner. He's probably your corner.
That's what I say too. I mean, the whole talk about Cooper DeJean being a safety, never bought into it. And in fact, it impacted the NFL world so much that somebody made a TikTok sound out of it. So that's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's real. In hindsight, 2025. But I think that's actually who I'm going to go with. Well, do you guys like Castro more or Ransom more? I personally like Castro more, but I'll phone a friend here.
I'm not a big Castro guy.
He's
old and slow.
Friend of the podcast.
What's the safeties looking like though? What's the whole board looking like?
They got Makuba out there too, but Makuba's nuts. I love Makuba.
I like Makuba. Yeah, that'd be my. And
he doesn't have the injury red flag that Ransom does.
How old is he? 22. He's actually younger than I thought he was. I don't know why I thought he was 23.
Those guys, man, they transfer and you think they're 25, 26, been on a mission trip.
I like Makuba or Sanker, but probably not for Philly. I think better.
Let's go Andrew Makuba here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Solidify that defensive or that just defense in period. Yeah, I like this. I like this for the Eagles. What do you think, Dose?
Yeah, I think I'm a fan of him. Like I don't have my notes handy, but I'm a fan for sure. Yeah.
You a fan of that pick, Broshmo?
Oh, I love Makubum, dude. He's light and he flies around. I feel like he could like play all spots in the defensive backfield, but it's not like he's light, but he don't play light. He's so physical. He's willing to come up and knock the teeth out of your mouth right there at the line of scrimmage. And
now, Broshmo, speaking of which, you are next up on the clock here. Final pick for the Miami Dolphins. You went Malachi Starks. Then you went Jonah. I still don't know how to say this last name.
Salvanea.
All right. I'm going to phonetically write this out so I remember draft day, because for my luck, that's exactly who the Patriots will draft. But round 3, who are you going here?
I would like to look at the corner class and the defensive tackle class, if I could. As I don't think I want any part of the defensive tackle class right now.
The podcast.
I don't know. I've stopped believing in these undersized defensive interior players.
That's crazy. Not Aeneas Peebles.
Like I like them on day 3, but I've been burnt too many times. That's what
I like Kobe Bryant. I mean, this is maybe
I love Kobe Bryant, man. He plays with stank. I don't know if he'd be a fit. Like honestly, like the better fit here probably would be I think Dorian Strawn's still on the board here. Like just if I'm looking for a guy that's going to play a lot of quarters, he's a guy that can play a lot of quarters. He's I don't want to say he's pretty much a zone exclusive corner, but he's a cat that I don't want to say doesn't like to get physical, but I'd rather him not. So I think I'm going to go with Dorian Strawn here because we need somebody at corner too. Can't be Storm Duck. Can't be Cam Smith. I don't know if the Dolphins even want those guys at corner too.
Dorian Strawn to the Miami Dolphins, getting some secondary help there. Absolutely love it. Now, Dose, you're back up on the clock here. Your final pick for the Giants. You originally went Abdul Carter, Donovan Jackson, and then Elijah Arroyo. Where are you going to go here?
Yeah, I have that quarterback. Yeah, that was the idea. It's like this would be a good time to now just. I mean, it would. It makes a ton of sense. You scroll down just a little bit, that I can just get a sense of what I'm missing out on as soon as I do that. And then, I don't want to be disappointed. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like they like their linebackers more than maybe everybody else even would too. So I feel pretty good with what we've done so far. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Jalen Milroe. We're going to plug him in here. We're going to get
Jalen Milroe, the running back. All right, out of Alabama.
If things get really dark for Brian Daboll, I was like, hey, just go out there and run like hell.
You can't go wrong with that.
Malik Neighbors ain't open within 2 seconds. Get out of Dodge.
Well, the Wildcat with an actual quarterback. It's crazy.
Well, guys, that was your 3-round mock draft for the AFC East and the NFC East. What do you guys think about your team's picks? Let us know in the comment section below. And of course, let us know what division you guys want to see us do next. Again, we're going to do the AFC and NFC together for whatever that division might be. But until next time, we will see you guys live next Thursday here on Roundtable Sports YouTube channel at 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys leave a big like on this video on your way out and subscribe here to Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. We just hit 20,000 subscribers. Make sure you guys help us out and get us to 30. But as always, I am Colby Cochran. That is Dose. That is Broshmo. We will see you guys next week.